Hey guys, I'm Chris, your real estate problem solver. So, congratulations on looking for your first house. But now that you're looking, you're probably asking yourself, well, I'm making offers and looking at houses myself, so why do I need a buyer's agent?
I need no stinking buyer's agent.
Well, here's 3 reasons why it might behoove you to have a buyer's agent in your corner when it's time to sign. And remember, if you want any more information about buying, selling, or investing in the Warner Robins market, make sure to give us a call. Our contact information is in the description below. Now let's get on with the video. Now the first benefit to having your own buyer's agent is knowing the market. For example, we have a listing right around the corner here that is getting ready to sell next week, and we'll just say that it's in the 250 range. Okay. Now, incidentally, the builders that did this neighborhood here is also the same ones that did the neighborhood that you're going to see next, and it's about 10 miles away in a whole different location in a different school district. A little bit of difference, but it's still the same floor plan, same square footage, and those are on the market for almost $100,000 more. So if you were coming in to buy a property or buy a house that you really want, would you know where the good deals are? Now, just about anybody can drive around, look at houses, and make offers, but at the same time, how valuable is your time? Right now, I'm out here on a daily basis seeing what's going on in this market. Just like being an attorney, you could probably file your own affidavit, you could file your own lawsuits, you could do your own court work, but is it easier to hire an attorney to do all that? Probably. Is it easier to hire a mechanic to work on your car while you're taking care of other things? Probably. Is it easier to hire a buyer's agent to find you the house that you're looking for so you can be taking care of other things? Definitely. All right, so let me ask you something. You are looking for a house, of course, and you're a buyer, and you run across a neighborhood like this one. You've got a whole neighborhood full of brand new houses that are getting put on the market, new construction houses, and they're offering certain incentives. They've got cash back plans, they've got financing contingencies, all that different stuff. How do you know what's going to be right for you? Have you studied it? Do you know what is the best choice for you? FHA, USDA, VA loans, conventional loans. And these buyers, or these builders, sorry, you're the buyer, they're the builder. So the builder is going to incentivize you to buy their house. So they might incentivize to pay the closing costs, or if you use their lender, their preferred lender, you get a point less in your interest rate, or they may offer to have an extended warranty or something like that. So how are you going to sift through all that, and would you know a good deal if you saw it? Also, while we're on the subject of new construction, when you buy a brand new house, well, it's brand new. You're the first person to live in it. Obviously, when they build a new house, they're going to have things that are missed. There's going to be wiring that didn't get quite finished. A lot of different things can happen with a new construction when nobody's actually lived in the house and tested all these different utilities and tested out all the different features and amenities of the house. So something goes wrong with this new house. What are you going to do? Who are you going to call? Is the house that you're looking at near a playground, or is it part of a fault line? Actually in Warner Robins, there is a neighborhood that's undergoing a class action lawsuit because the whole neighborhood, or a good part of the neighborhood, was actually built on sliding soil. It's kind of hard to explain, but the whole neighborhood is full of cracked foundations and driveways. So you might want to be aware of that, and if you don't know where those neighborhoods are, then you could find yourself in a whole lot of trouble. Now, what about negotiating? How good of a negotiator are you? If you find a house that you want to buy and the seller's not willing to come off of the asking price, do you know what to say or how to say it to get them to either come off the asking price or sweeten the pot? Did you know that even though you're buying the house, did you know that you can also negotiate to get maybe the car Or maybe they throw in the lawnmower. Maybe they've got a security system that's got a 2-year contract on it. Maybe you can negotiate to go ahead and get the rest of that contract paid for up front so you don't have to. Would you think about that? Or would you need a real estate agent to take care of that for you because they know how to work those deals and what questions to ask to make your purchase better value for the buck? Okay, so the next reason why it would be a good option to have a buyer's agent is, let's say you have done a deal, okay, with somebody before. You agreed to do XYZ, they agreed to do ABC, and when you actually went to execute what was agreed upon, things got confused. You thought you were supposed to do this, they thought they were supposed to do that, and then you get into an argument. The deal doesn't go through. You don't get what you want, they don't get what they want. This happens a lot with contractors. This happens a lot with entrepreneurs, and it happens with anybody that doesn't write things down. So hence you need contracts. Well, in real estate, you've got contracts that are pre-made. You've got contracts that you can write yourself if you know how. But real estate agents already have access to state regulated contracts for just about any occasion. So let's look at some of those contracts in the office and explain to you why it would be better to have your agreements ironclad with a contract that will help you get the deal done. All right, so the first contract we're going to look at, of course, is going to be the purchase and sales agreement. Now, what we're going to be showing you are the Georgia Association of Realtors contracts. And of course, they've been mowed over and written by Georgia state attorneys. So it's going to cover all the bases. Now, down here, you've got all the pertinent information that everybody usually sees when they make an offer: purchase price, closing costs, when we're going to close, are you going to take possession at closing, or are you going to take possession after closing, who's going to be the closing attorney and what's their contact information, and who's going to hold earnest money. Now, one thing that some people don't pay attention to is your due diligence period. Now, this is a time when you can inspect the property and decide whether or not this is a property is the one that you want to buy. And this can be negotiable anywhere from 1 day all the way to the closing date. Even further down, you have wording that explains what the closing costs are, who's going to hold the earnest money. If it's not going to be the buyer or the seller, who's going to hold it? Can they charge for that service? And what happens if the earnest money is put into dispute? This goes into more elaboration about what happens during the inspection period. And if you'll notice right here at page 4, paragraph C, there is a section here that tells the seller that they have to turn on all utilities and have all the equipment and systems available and operational for the buyer to inspect the property. Now, that's a stipulation that a lot of people didn't realize was in this contract. Did you think about this point? If you did, make a comment below. Lead-based paint. Did you know that if you are buying a house older than 1978, the seller has to provide a lead paint disclosure, especially if you're using institutional financing? Now, in this section, which is page 6, there are stipulations that explain what to do and the remedies of the seller defaulting or the buyer defaulting. So would your contract have stipulations that explain what happens if there is a dispute or a default? And down here at the bottom, there's a very common phrase that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Time of the essence. This is of the essence of this agreement. Basically, that's a simple little clause that explains that this contract has to be processed in a timely manner. It cannot sit on the shelf. They cannot stall for no reason. If there's a hang up or if there's a problem, it needs to be resolved in a timely manner. And if the one party or the other decides to just not do anything, then legally they can get in trouble for it just based on this one clause. What if you need help financing the purchase of the house? Did you know that the seller could actually be your bank? We've got contracts that address that as well. Did you know if you want to buy a house but you're not ready to take possession, you can actually buy it from the owner and turn around and lease it back to them until such time that you're willing to take possession and they're willing to move. We also have a contract for that too. Well, I hope you found this information useful, and make sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you've got any other questions or need some more information about the real estate market in Warner Robins area, make sure to contact us. Our information's in the description below, and I'll talk to you on the next one.